So, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back to the intro with Kenneth and Lakan, and Pastor and Kenneth joined. So, I hope you join in. So, while I wait for Kenneth to join, this cold and flu has everybody kind of out and down, and I have a little dry cough now. I don't know. Trying to log in to get the link to share. So, how things with everybody? Where everybody up to these days? You know, it's been a while. I have to apologize for last week. I was unable to do the show. Kenneth was out of the country, and I had a death in the family. And well, as you know, one thing lead to our next, and we weren't able to do the show. But nevertheless, we're here this evening, and we're talking about the financial sector and other pertinent or important issues. Trying to see if I can get on to share the link. So anybody on, anybody hearing me, share it live. Let's see what's going to happen tonight. Interesting conversation. So somehow I'm not seeing the intro show. I hope I'm live. Ken, you there? Are you hearing me? Yeah, that looks like it. Yeah. No, wrong one. Kenneth, you're inside. No. On the inside there, Ken, we hear any talking.
You hear me now?
We hear you now.
Right, good.
Okay, directional mic and walking again.
Yeah, I know they are going there, but yeah, well, now you hear me now?
Yeah, hearing you all the time.
Me hearing Joe's here?
Yeah.
I had to check my mic.
More meeting controls, whiteboard button, close, open apps panel, enter, expanded, apps, expand new button, close button, enter, elapsed, new button, meeting information button, Facebook button, drop down, news currently, audio settings button, menu, launch meeting, Zoom, Brave, launch meeting, Zoom, roll F4, close all button, Zoom meeting, launch meeting, Zoom,
Trying
Brave,
to find today's thing
Zoom meeting, audio settings button, menu,
to log in.
visual settings, close, open, more options for open chat panel, plus 8, more options, share screen, reactions button, close, open apps panel button, whiteboard button, more meeting controls button, leave, new button, meeting information button, escape, launch meeting, Zoom, Brave,
You know, find you, man.
cancel button. Don't ask me again. Checkbox not checked. Space checked. Close all button. Enter. Launch meeting Zoom Brave. Launch meeting Zoom. Launch meeting Zoom Brave. Zoom meeting information button.
You hear me?
Yeah, hearing you.
Title is Zoom meeting. Facebook button drop down.
I hearing you, Joe's too.
Save button. Audio settings button menu. Stop my video. Alt plus D button. Video settings button menu.
No,
Stop my
okay,
video.
no.
Audio settings. News currently. News. Alt plus A button.
Right? When you feel, I'm hearing you, you know what I mean? So Ken, was the vacation, right? Can I?
All right, you hear me now?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, the vacation was good, but I come back, I got a little critical, but I know, but I go survive. I go try to survive.
All right, all right.
But I kind of critical right now. But,
You're trying to suck in the laptop there, or
yeah. But yeah, you can tell now, boy.
the way I see you're sucking in there.
Yeah. Laptop leave it
Like
table, yeah.
you're coming from fine side, you know.
Yeah. So what we talking about again?
I have I was I put the financial sector and other important issues.
Right.
So I find
You
it's
know,
about
I check
time
in.
to talk
I
about.
check in the little group thing now. You know what we talk about. I don't want to call on him, but I hear somebody make a statement that we 98% literate. I say like that person, they didn't read 12,000 trend, teaching this kid to pass the exam, and at CXC level, 47% of them can't pass maths and English.
You want to drop from my internet drop. Me sure.
No, I hear you. But you're talking in the mic now. You said anyway. You hear me? You.
Audio settings button menu. Mute currently unmuted. Alt plus A button. Stop my video. Alt plus D button.
Yeah,
Video
that's it.
Stop my video. Alt plus.
You hear me? But you're talking on next mic, man.
Yo.
I hear you anyway, like you're talking on next mic. Yeah, I hear you. You hear me? Lakan. You on way?
Zoom meeting. Stop video settings button. Close. Open participant space expanded. Participants button drop down. Leave. Alt plus U. More meeting controls. Whiteboard button. Close. Open next panel button. Reactions button. Share screen. More options for chat. Open chat panel. More options for open. Close participant. Video settings. Open. Close participant space select. Video settings button. Stop my video. Alt plus D button. Audio settings button menu. Mute currently unmuted. Alt plus A button.
Larry, you hear me now? Oi. Bye.
Audio settings button menu. Stop my video. Alt plus D button. Video settings button. Close. Open participants panel. 2 participants. More options for participants. Open chat panel. More options. Close. Open next panel button. Whiteboard button. More meeting controls button.
Yeah, no hearing you. One
Yeah,
day.
I talking to my own done, and I hearing you
You're saying me?
all the time, yeah.
Me hearing you. I know hearing you come.
Right.
So asking you the group that we was recently joining talking about same time.
Yeah. 98. I feel people mixing up.
I don't know what happened.
How you sound like you're an next mic, boy?
Talking and you get off.
Huh?
What's your space, what I would say? There you go.
But you coming across well soft, boy. You sound like you're talking on next mic and it's far from you now.
Yeah, that's not so.
Alt D. Video now stop.
Oh.
Audio now muted.
Ken, you hear me?
Audio now muted.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, but not loud and clear, but I hear you, but like you're talking far away.
Okay. All right. Here it is. I hear you through the phone link. So let me go ahead because I'm not hearing you through the laptop. I don't know why. So we could go ahead and talk here. I hear you through the link device. And we have a few people on live already. Let's see share device.
But your audio good, your audio not sharp like before now.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Not sure. So
8% literate. I mean, I hope them is not part of the 98% to make that statement.
Auto now unmuted.
You see, people talk about, we just measure literacy in China when people sign a name, Larry.
Yeah.
We don't measure functional literacy. The last time we invented some of the steel pans some years ago, maybe 100 years ago. During the session we had here recently, Miss Phillips made a point with Singapore.
Yeah.
I didn't remember, she says Singapore said we don't have no natural resource, but we could educate people and export knowledge.
Yeah.
And I said, people, if you don't know if Trinidad doing well, take out the rent from oil that we get each month or each quarter. And if we're doing well, they'll say, yes, we're doing well. Because they come, what we're doing, you know, like your parents leave plenty money for your thing, and they see them turn rich and they're spending their parents' wealth. And it just a matter of time before it finish. That's what we're doing in Trinidad. And we're not doing anything
But
to renew that knowledge.
recently we had that conversation, Kenneth.
Uh.
When we were talking about people want government to feel them out of everything because the topic came up with and this was the financial
I'm not understanding at all. You're breaking up badly with that.
the driven government said that we owe them $6. I don't understand. I don't know if the internet food.
And they will go to the same international court in the world that we set up, you know that?
Yeah, yeah. So that is what happened there, and then you have people expecting government to always deal them out. And you make a point, you would not allow them to feel and do not listen.
Exactly. I think we as a nation, we're not signing up to truth.
We have another issue that is this thing really sickening for it. I know we know this audio. This thing about the financial sector, Kenneth, you're being forced
Auto mute.
to put your money into a financial institution. And what I really wanted for this description for tonight discussion was what's the difference between a financial institution and a bandit. But I didn't put it.
Well,
Because
let me see. What does the bank do to add value to the economy?
that basically forced, yeah. I probably take my money, I'll let it back to someone, yeah. Or I don't know. Well,
Auto mute currently.
Which mic are you using? The mic on the laptop or the mic on the phone?
only laptop.
Yeah, you dealing real bad and the quality real bad.
Actually, the internet now. All right, give me a second again.
Mm-hmm.
I want to share my data. I want to log
Unmute today. Can I go and share my data to connect the laptop date and see if we can improve the situation?
All right. No, but your voice getting a little better than now, you know.
Yeah, because the internet come back up.
Okay. Well, let me try now. That's how we're going right now. That's what happen.
Huh?
Yeah, continue as you did now. And let's see what happen.
All right. So continue just so then.
Yeah, you improve a lot.
All right, good. Someone come up here. Me, you know.
National conversations. These giants pay better dividends than
Well, anyhow, I was saying, right? We're in a situation here, Ken, where
duration 9 seconds.
you're
6.1
forcing you through laws to bank your money.
Right.
Because if you save your money under your mattress like long time or in a pan, and you go to buy something with cash, you have to declare where you get that money from. And you can't say you sell pak choy and you sell body, or every time I make a 2-3 trip, I save single money as a taxi driver. You cannot say that and you save up your money like that. And I don't even remember it had this maxi driver, I ain't call no name. He loses his maxi in a fire
Yeah.
and all the money they burn home in the fire. He never believe in bank. He said the bank they rob him one thing. Right? And my problem is when you go to the bank, they force you to open a bank account, right? And you open this bank account, but you have no money to put in the bank. And then you're starting to owe the bank monthly arrears. Ever hear that to anybody?
No, I want to put it this way. I remember when I used to put money in bank, and every year I used to get 7% on a fixed deposit now.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays you put money in the bank and you're getting minus. And there's another challenge in the world where people objecting to cryptocurrency because it doesn't have no central bank governing that.
Right.
What governs cryptocurrency is an algorithm, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And people objecting to cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrency going to challenge central bank in the world. Because let me check. When America when their money was linked to gold, I think it was 35 US was for an ounce of gold or whatever it may be. Today is a couple $1,000 for the same ounce of gold, whatever you call it.
Right.
How the money depreciates so rapidly from then to now, because they could print money as a well one. I remember over Easter weekend, the exchange rate was $4.29 for a TT dollar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by the time the bank went back on Tuesday, it was $6.29 or something like that for US. And there were people who knew about that and sell back US with a profit. It is a con job and a scam job. But all I always tell people, a currency is something where you and I agree we're going to trade with. So if you say me and you say this stone is $1 and it would upon a rice,
yeah,
we agree to that. What does make that currency not work when anybody will go and pick up stone? You remember when they was using glass in Africa to trade with them African and they find out how to counterfeit the glass?
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
time they went
yeah.
to Africa and they bought the goods, after a while, the goods worth nothing. Because the con men and them when they got everything from Africa and give them glass. And it's a big scam in the world. How the government depreciating your money? Okay, the last time we got increase, right? Or whatever. $1 can I buy what? And you check what that same dollar to. Just a day, when I was talking, somebody was talking, just a day, people in the States who cutting grass, them going all about the world and traveling. We have people who cutting grass in Trinidad can't get a passage go down.
True.
Something wrong. People doing the same work. People doing the same work in the United States. And they could do so much. We have people in Trinidad doing same work and catching the skin. And I remember Larry Long, them in the 70s, every July and August, your middle class, that was your public servant and so on. They were out of the country. All the family was on trips all over the world and thing.
But I have some cousins live in Canada, and I see they're working as clerical officers and middle class, right?
Uh-huh.
And they travel every year. They go all over part of the world. doing trips, and they could afford it. And they working for menial jobs. I mean, they working for no big boy rich work, and they own a little condominium, pay the rent, and they could still afford a vacation.
Not here.
But my problem is, Kenneth, the legislatures and them passing laws to keep the people down, because how you could tell me now this happened to me, Kenneth. I had 2 accounts in a particular bank, because remember I was living in Chaguanas and then I came San Fernando, right? But first I was in San Fernando working, and I went Santa Cruz and then come back San Fernando, right? So when I was in South, I opened an account. So when I went to Santa Cruz, I stopped using that account. All of a sudden, at the I see a statement, I have negative so on so money owing. I said, what? So they decided to take out my money easy, month by month. And I said to owe the bank money. So when I go on to tell me how there's a fixed monthly fee I have to pay, whether I use the account or not. So I say, okay, that's the case. I pay, I think I was a raise of 2 or 3 months of the fees. I paid and I close off the account. Now, if you're charging me to use something, I barely am going to pay in the account at the time, but you're charging me to use the account for what purpose?
Now
And
let's
then
check this. Well,
The
hold
law
on a second.
forcing me, Kenneth, to go into the bank.
Long ago, right? They select people who are billionaires, the banks just charge them to keep the money. The reason for that, if you are $1 billion or $2 billion, you can't keep it home. Someone go thief it, right?
Right.
So it come like you put it in the bank for safekeeping because they are all the security system and thing. The poor man did not go through that. Because if he wanted, he could have keep his money safely home. But since they bring all this law we talk about, force him to go to the bank to put the little money they gotta keep home. So the bank probably give an interest rate for the billionaires, but actually the poor man, they reverse it then.
Yeah.
No, it's a wicked thing.
There's a real unjust thing, boy, and I could see, and I see it was happening. Somebody was talking about where it was, boy, at some Facebook thing I saw with same thing B-Mobile was doing, not B-Mobile, TSCT was doing. People, imagine you don't have the phone service anymore, but they're charging you a service fee every month. I think it was $34 I was charging you for your service. You remember those days?
Yep, but don't talk about the phone. Imagine we blind. Right? You have a cable company.
Yeah.
They're charging me for seeing TV. And they are giving my video. You take the phone company, at that time, they'll charge you for all kind of service that all we could use the phone to do was make and receive a call. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
And they were not prepared to provide you with accessible unit.
But my problem is you not raise. You owing them money. You can't afford to pay a bill. But every month they're adding $30-something charges, monthly charges for a phone you're not using because disconnected started. It's not even working, but they charge you every month. And then you have to pay a raise. And every month you want to pay $100, but minus $30-something from the 100 because it's going back into the monthly fee. So you're only paying $60-something.
Hold on, music currently.
And what's that? When you talk about the rebate will be less than if you was paying the bill, you know?
All the time.
This country, partner, I just call it Morgan Job, they call it a dung beetle paradise. Everything Morgan Job say come to pass. Larry, I tell people, and them trade union, not Larry, I wrote them trade union about blind people. Not one of them write us back.
And I see
All
on
of them,
today papers. O2 or oil field workers trade union signed something with some union in Guyana. I said, huh? Okay.
Hold on, music currently.
Look at
Yeah.
PSCT. How much workers lost their work just the other day? The unions losing ground, they're losing traction. Because all we're talking about increases, nobody are talking about how we could stabilize inflation. Because we're not creating wealth. Larry, the amount of companies Trinidad own, the amount the government, both all of government sell out to pay some wages and salary. You
And
don't
the- and
sell well
the-
to
It had no vision. They're not finding a way to stimulate growth or
Well,
stimulate the economy.
unless we don't deal with that education system. I tell lecturing over 12,000 SCA students cannot make 50%. And then I read another article, 47% of them at CXC level. Can't pass, get full certificate. And we see we 98% literate.
No, I tell you, I hope the people who made that statement, them is not part of the 98% because clearly them illiterate.
Larry, just don't make sense.
It doesn't.
Larry, look at the man who created Amazon. You just see what he created and bring billions to America. You could go on to your phone and order anything and reach it home by you within the week. And the man said before his next goal was a same day delivery. He might have an Amazon warehouse in every country.
No, the man, I now start to read the book for you. Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, what really life started, he never complained about the father leave him and the father abandon him and the father this, that. He made his own life. He had an idea. We in Trinidad, if you have an idea, you can't get nobody to finance it, you know?
No. You see, we don't
Taking the money
believe
out-
in we don't
Yeah.
believe in entrepreneurship. We don't believe in
Of venture capitalists.
venture capitalism.
No,
Yeah, capitalist.
yeah.
We don't believe in that. We don't promote young people with ideas. Yeah, somebody young come with an idea, you're crazy. You feel like go work here, that can't work. You want to waste money and then just shoot down it one time.
Music currently.
But
That's
now
what
that's not what parents, you know. Most of the time you ask your parents, you want to do something, they say, boy, no, boy, get government work.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't, and there's a culture in Trinidad, nobody, they're not in the business of taking a risk.
No, it's true. Long time when we leave school, the first thing they go on apply service commission.
Yes, that, and then Ministry of Labor.
You go service commission and apply.
Yeah.
And you're going and drop a letter. I drop a letter in service commission. I probably never even get a response from them.
But that the biggest conjure. When you raise the issue, the other day to say a disabled person must held the disability affairs unit. The first thing tell me, that's not the system. That's not the system. But you just sign a charter, you know, the charter say, persons with disabilities, nothing about us without us.
Yeah.
You sit in your ass there and balling. And they're not in the system. We're going to fix the system. Fix it. You could imagine a disability affairs unit must be about 40 years old in Trinidad. Never had a disabled person head in it.
Because it's all about tokenism. It's all about a perception, you know.
Yeah.
It's all about giving the society and giving people, making them feel they're doing something. That's what it's about, you know.
Larry, no, even
It's
worse than
already
that,
do something, you know.
Larry,
To show process.
disabled people cannot get help when their parents born because their parents feel they're done blind and think they can't get a work. So we don't mind it. They go to secondary school, they get the resources to function. They end up in secondary school, primary secondary school, they still not getting the resources. And you know the highest grade they could pass with is a C, but you tell them to get a working blind if they wanted to be a B. And they want to tell them, and they can't get work.
But this is why I keep on calling that the vicious cycle.
Yeah.
You give me nothing to produce, nothing to be successful, nothing to be productive, nothing to be successful, to achieve. But then at the end of the day, you expect to get the best work. How is that possible?
You know, Larry, you know what I'm forgetting? In the 70s, Black people in Indian couldn't get no bank work. And Dr. Ekwelem had affirmative action for them. They're forgetting that, but I'll remind them that one of these days.
Yeah.
All those, it had white collar jobs in Trinidad, you know, and the other people get the blue collar work, you know. They're like digging drain and thing, you know. Now that they get white people work, they'll be even worse than white people. To
Oh, boy.
blast it, disgusting, and they just buy.
My problem is a lot of people believe they know what is better for you than yourself. And I don't say in context, a lot of people who are not disabled believe they know what is best for the disabled
Music currently.
than the disabled people themselves.
There's a high profile person in Trinidad, you know, in the medical field. You say, well, let me say, either he or she, see, they're blind and they are no blind child.
They say they ain't blind and they are no blind child.
Music
Yes,
currently.
that is why they could talk like that.
You see? But until they come home to roost, then they see it, you know, Kenneth. You understand? I remember a man say he never see them, you know.
I know that I didn't see them.
You see, I didn't see them, you know.
Yeah.
When I drive my car, I drive straight, I didn't see them.
Like I went to a function the other day and I gave them everything in Braille. Not a soul could I read it. I said, that's
Yeah.
all of us treat me. How you expect me to function? A simple example I show them. I said,
What was
read
your
that.
reaction?
No, they never saw it that way.
Yeah.
Because they live in an ableist society because the world was designed for them. They get good parents. According to somebody, sometimes people get good parenting is a lottery, you know, for you to born. Sometimes you get a good card now.
Yeah.
You're born to a family with resources then. Then you go to the school with resources. Then you pass the exam with resources. And then somebody family have contact, you get work with resources. All the way you get help. But there's a group in the society who nobody help them. That is why they step out of the house, somebody will shoot people in Trinidad. You understand? You know why? We laugh at the neighbor trying to do badly. We didn't help them. That way you can't enjoy it. That way if you're trying playing in the yard and you miss them, you're balling in him hard, like you feel you go dead. You
No,
understand?
because we're selfish. I say
That
that
is
more than
wrong.
one time. We're too selfish in the society. We don't
Because we
help each
don't
other.
use the ocean example. When the ocean tide rise, you lift all boat. It goes to the pirogue down and the ship up or vice versa.
But
I
you see,
listen to
people don't want to listen to that, Ken. People don't want to see that. All I'm studying is their own selfish needs, you know.
like if you listen to Sadhguru, I mean, that is one thing I like about Sadhguru. He say he no God, man.
Hey, the man comes to Trinidad, boy. Let me go now.
Yeah, of course. Just let me know. I want to go check out the man.
I think it's the
Man
3rd of
say-
August, boy.
Right? You'll be here or
What do you mean? I
right,
here.
good. Right. No, I know you'll be all right. Man.
Like next
No,
week
but
Wednesday, I think.
what time? Which part?
In the evening time, somewhere. I have to look back for that thing, boy.
We'll check it out now. But what's saying? You know how other people say them as God man and this materialized thing? Somebody
Yeah.
tell him, so why do you pull out a picture from your pocket? He say, I have a shitty pocket.
Ah.
He say he in the business of, he like engineering.
Yeah.
That's why he say engineer does work. A helicopter does work, it's efficient. He say he had to engineer the human mind and body to function properly. You know?
Yeah.
And what I like about him, he make it clear he ain't no God, man. He say, millions of people helping you out. And they're doing it voluntarily. He said,
Yeah.
none of the project never fail. And he said, you know what, with voluntary work, you can't fire them. When they do a bad work.
Exactly.
He said the problem with the world is good, too much of good people, but he said we want good people, but we want what you would use by it. I don't know if it's thinking people or, but he said too much of good. He said you check anybody, they're killing people because for the good of the nation. They're cutting your salary for the good. Everything they're doing is for the good. Bad laws for the good. Say too much of damn good people.
Everything has to be good. Good. Let it be bad a little bit sometimes.
If somebody think different to you, you'll kill them. Because somebody have a different idea, a different opinion, you know?
What do you think about this situation with the institutionalized? What they say the Pope apologized to the. I don't know if you're following the story.
No, I didn't follow, but I know you're chatting about you check right in Trinidad, Lar, with the St. Jude's home and thing. Right now in New Zealand, Lar, all the people, disabled people was an institution. They have an investigation going on right now. And a lot of people went and report the abuse that they went through. Old people in the 50s, 60s, what they went through. And it's not to catch anybody, but to improve the nation.
Yeah, because institutionalized systems, it proved that it didn't help the nation, you know. It created a lot of hurt in the society, you know. You imagine when you was leaving your child, in a institution in Santa Cruz from 5 years. I remember Mr. Rago said that he said he remember driving a car in the main hall all around, boom, boom. He come from the country, first time he see a car and he sit down there and he take off, man. You see when he find out and you make a few spin, you feel like it's about a few minutes going, you turn around, place I get dark. When he asks him, when they say he go and come, and they show him my bed and tell me sleeping here, you know. That in that itself is a form of abuse, you know.
Alta, news currently.
Well, I used to tell people, growing up as a child, every morning I go, I don't, while like when you go to school right now,
Mhm.
I was like, well, when my mother cooking, I go to my father. And I remember in Santa Cruz, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
You didn't have that at all. You get your morning by yourself.
No, and you know, when I think back to Gabriel, I think in the morning, Gabriel want a little love up, he want a little
Yeah.
attention, Caitlin wants the
Yeah.
attention, and
And you know, Larry, that people objecting to that, they will be fire, get fire. Because we thinking, we don't subscribe to that.
you know, and I just tell people, think about your own children, think about what you want for your child, and see if that is what you want for somebody else's child. But again, because we're so selfish, Kenneth, they wouldn't want it for their own child, but they'll do somebody else's child it, and that is my problem.
We want the easy way out.
Yeah, I remember director, what do you call it, director of school supervision, the DSS.
Mhm.
He tell me how his son graduate and he going to go out with a meeting, something about his son. And you
Yeah.
tell him, he say, but we want to be blind children too. The man
Yeah.
stop talking, yes.
No,
They
because they
feel
want it.
the
They want it for
blind children
them.
mustn't get that too.
Yeah.
You understand? They only want to talk about their own, but they don't want to give us the resources for our own.
Lara, at a joint select committee meeting, the chair was Paul Richards.
Mhm.
You know how much the PS, I'm stupid, I call a name because it's a public thing.
Yeah.
Yes, was PS Batiste. Less than 20%. Because they will put in a budget, say, for $100.
Right.
And all them getting $19, you know. He says, how expect them trying to survive? How do do well in school? Not a soul could answer.
Because they can't. The noise, I'm telling you, the noise
Larry
of
say,
papi
forget the
show.
rest of trend and give the trend, the department for the disabled trend, give them the 100%. All the sort, all the self after with all the 12,000 trend who feeling, all the 47,000 trend who percent feeling, deal with that. But give our section we 100%. If
And
Tobago could make sure and ask for the 5 and 6% of the budget, we must demand that. Our unit must get the 100%. All to fix all the other problems right there. We
yeah,
have
but to
time to wait on all
start
that.
with, Kenneth, we must have a unit led by a person with disability.
That the whole point, even the Ministry of Education, you tell me like they can't get a blind person. And we know it have blind person who's teach out our masters.
We need to demand, people must stop thinking they know better for the blind than the blind, or stop thinking they know better for the disabled than the disabled. You have a unit that is led by quote unquote normal person. And when you hear the things they come talking about, they're coming back to the very same community to get the ideas to come back and talk about it.
Yeah, because they don't know it better than us.
And the point is, they will never put somebody with a disability there to run it. Because it's all about a process, it's a papi show, is a thing that's a show off.
Larry,
And this is not about this government, you know, it's about successive government. I don't know if you feel it's political, it's happening ever since.
Larry, I know that people left blind welfare because they have a blind person going to be EU and president, you know. They resign early, you know. They say, I mean, I don't want to call the person name.
Not to call them, I know who it is.
Arrange 17 person.
Mhm.
See, you didn't know order from no blind person.
Yeah. But not only arrange 17, arrange 34 too.
Yeah.
You understand? So but the thing is, but they did nothing. They did nothing to improve the situation. They all they knew was to complain, and they knew was to look for obstacles. They did nothing to preserve or promote. Look, today I went somewhere and somebody was telling me, they say they find over the last few years. Oh, Miss Phillips told me this recently. She said she realized like blind welfare just came out of the blue all of a sudden for a while they were dormant. I say it's because of the leadership they have now. I say before the leadership went dormant, but recently with the leadership we have with the EU and so on, things has changed. It has been more visible, more aware of it. Today, you know, I went to a financial institution and somebody tell them the same thing. And the point is, people already is hearing and seeing what the association is doing, and they are aware of it. You know, they may not be the best or the most perfect situation, but they know we visible, they know we out there.
Like we are the only organization for the disabled have a blind president and a blind youth. And we comply with the United Nations rule. Nothing about us without us. You know what the
Yeah.
government doing? The government giving disabled people their own 10 days, you know. Disability grant.
Mhm.
Take that and settle. You mustn't get nothing more than that.
You have, I think it's 2 persons working in the disability affairs unit who
On contract.
disabled. You're on contract. That is 1. 2. And are they not qualified enough to lead the unit? They down at the bottom of the round, last rung of the ladder. Why aren't they able to lead the unit? My thing is, we keep on talking about what they're doing for the disabled community and what they're thinking, but there's nobody giving them a chance to lead. Now I keep on saying, as long as we are wrong, we must always have a blind president and a blind Neo. Keep it going forward the same way.
Mute current.
I'm making that point with I was going to the Joint Select Committee, the recommendation for blind welfare.
Mhm.
And they tell me put qualification for EO in the constitution. I want them to ask them which part in which constitution does have rules with qualification. Because the constitution is a principal document, it's a policy document. It states clearly. How the United Nations Charter didn't mark nothing about us, but you must have a degree in this and a degree in that.
So why the Republican Constitution didn't say that?
And what is the qualification for Prime Minister?
Yeah, or a president.
Yeah, there was the
Why did it say that?
qualification. No.
You see, they only want us that controls like a
Right.
certain
That's
for
what they
the,
want.
they're gonna want to control it like Massa,
Yeah.
but they wouldn't want it for
Not
themselves.
as blind man, he taking a jamming from them.
They want it for themselves. They're not going to put it for them, you know. They want it for themselves. What qualification for what the prime minister should be or what the president qualification should be. They wouldn't put it there, but they want to put it for the smaller institution because they feel, you know why? We're a minority and they could bully we. But I feel they'll get through this wrong, so that one. I think we know what the law is and we know what we have to stand up with.
Alta, mute currently.
Different, like I said, this little disability grant they do. There are people who don't want to do more because they're afraid the law is disability grant. Why we can put it in a system that, you know, you'll get a disability grant, but over a period of time it will weaned off then. Well, and that might not be the best idea, it might have other ideas too. But let us try something so that we can get person with disability productive, because a lot of time the IMF come to your country, the first service is called a social service.
Look, there's a fund that we benefit from yearly to help the clients of the association, right? I met with one of the trustee of the fund, and you know, they're starting an aspect of it where they're looking at a developmental program rather than trying to help individuals every year and get them X item or X amount of money, whatever it is. They're looking to invest in a development program that will be sustainable to the community then. And how it's going to impact the community and help. And to me, that makes more sense. Because you know, when you invest in them kind of system, it's not just what we call, it's not just absorbing the resources. You're investing in a system that more than one generation of people could benefit from it. You could create employment, you could enhance educational resources, things like that. And that was such a good idea, I find, because when you check the kind of money this fund is extend, and it's just to eat food and pass it back out in the toilet. It to me, it just isn't making much sense. And I think a lot of places going that way now. They're not just giving you
Mute currently.
money to just spend just so they're giving you money to spend on something that is developmental that will help generate more in the future.
But remember that culture in Trinidad, give the disabled money. I tell people link it to rehabilitation. Yes, there will be people out there who will need. I ain't doubting that. But I'm certain there are a lot of people who are blind on the job. This shouldn't be another grant beside getting back on the job.
I agree. Go and do training, go and do learning, do something and link the disability grant to that.
Right. That's my point I'm trying to make.
And if while you're getting disability grant and you're learning, you educate yourself, you go read, you might figure out, hey, I could do this. It had this thing I watched, what is Dr. Gary something, if I know, Professor Gary something. And the man was a homeless man. He was a hermit.
Right.
And he get up one day and he decided, I'm not at the forest now, the mountains. And he started to come back out and started learning. And eventually he realized he liked learning. And he started to learn more and more until he became a professor. I will share the video with you, Ms.
But
Moore.
Lara, I mean, I don't tell people about there was a PhD man on Blind Council. And see, when you learn, you have no problem. You can learn anything you want to learn.
Yeah, when you learn how to learn. No, it's the truth. But people need, at the end of the day, we're going back to the society we live in. We have a society where everybody wants the oil revenues. Everybody want more money. They want more this, more that, but nobody want to work for it.
But Lara, I see that in the blind community. I see it happen with Karen and the students sometimes. He had a spoon feed them. You know, like if you learn a concept in something, and you can't take that concept and apply it to another, you know, I ain't say you know everything, you know, but you could come back and say, look, I tried this thing, you know, I can choose so far, but a little not sure a little further. It's more exciting than every time it's the same issue in the move on over.
Yeah, it's come across boring.
Right.
And there's another thing they take for granted. They take for granted that they just come and sit down. They don't have to learn. And I tell people, if you go and pay for university education, whether you go to the class and you learn or you don't learn, the next time you come to class, you do something else, you know.
Yeah.
And the next time you come is something else. By the end of your period that you pay for, they finish their syllabus, you know. Whether you learn in the first week or the last week, them don't care, you know. They get the money and they give you the course. It's your choice to learn. But we need to adopt that kind of attitude in our community. People have too much of, and probably come back from disability grant attitude, too much about disability grant attitude that they just give me and you don't have to account for it. And that's what's going on.
When
Giving
it
them
free,
thing
it
and not
water down.
accounting.
You know?
Repeat that?
When it's free, it water down. Some people believe in that value, you know?
Yeah. But they know the cost value for it.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the problem. And today I see some children come to do classes and I was so happy I never see them before and things. And young children, I still look at it, you know, they come and they're willing to learn the computers and do things. And I said that is so important and get an education, you think with freedom.
Lara, I remember when I get my first iPhone, Lara, I nearly celebrated in a few days, you know. I had no one to give me help, none. And by me, you know, I was lucky I tripped onto an iPhone book. And I read a book, beginning to end, I might say cover to cover. And once I hung on to that concept, that was it. I remember even with computers, I'll show you the example what they have now. Them have Karen. I didn't have nobody except a packet of tape Karen gave me. I had a cassette player and I had my braille. I never write something. But bam, the light bulb went off in my head. And that was it. I got the concept of the machine. And now I wish, you know, like in those days when you were already inspired, somebody was there to teach you code and all kind of thing.
Yeah.
We could provide that now. We could pay for it. But how many people want to sit in a class and learn to write codes so they could write little programs, they could improve programs, because there's where the big money is. You have blind people at Google working, autistic people at Google working. They didn't want your disability. We in Trinidad, no, if they see one the blind person stepping in the view room, I had a good friend of mine, she get work right now with the UN. She hearing impaired.
Mm.
And she went for a job interview. And thing going good because she can read lips, eh? But some happened, I don't she said she hear just move away from her ears now. And the man spotted the hearing aid and he refused the job.
And that is the problem. And then they talk about discrimination, but they wouldn't say discrimination happens every day still. It is still here, real.
Mhm.
You don't want to know the qualification. They don't want to know what you have in your head, you know.
Mm-mm.
Because you have a disability, you shouldn't have that job. It's an
They want
embarrassment.
to order, they're taking order from a disabled person, partner.
That's the point.
Yeah.
They're not developing, they're not doing anything to make sure no disabled person become the boss.
Let monkeypox come, all of them go look at kind of way. Let them go ahead.
Okay, so. You take that at different levels, so yeah.
No, that's how you look. Sometimes they get a walk. Better pray to God, monkeypox to take them.
Hello, good.
You know how disabled people feel.
But we had to do what we had to do, no, Ken. We had to do what
Now,
we
we
had
have
to
to
do.
keep, I
And we
see
had to
my
keep chipping
personally,
away.
it's not all lost in a lie. I seen things improving, you know.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I wouldn't complain. But
Yeah, right.
it improving, but it's not moving at the rate, you know. I just finished reading this book, and this Down syndrome child is running in a race now.
Mm-hmm.
And while he running, he falling down and he getting up and the crowd leaving him and going. When all the fellas finished the race, they went back and they started running with him. You understand? That was that part of the book, and I had to share that to people part. That the book asking why, you know. And they went and they ran with him.
You didn't send that book for me.
No, you know what the essence of the book they were saying? He wasn't competing with the rest of the group. He was competing with himself. And the advice to tell people, the same way they tell them, like, well, if they do bad, go to the women test. Don't study about the child next to you. If you make 10 marks last time, make 11 this time.
Yeah.
But don't tell me you want to come out first and test and beat that one. Don't beat nobody, beat yourself.
That's what you have to do. Compete with yourself.
Yeah. Because some you come out first and test and your marks are bad, you know.
Yeah, but I see that story from a different perspective too, because the other people realize they winning against that child who was Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Was no victory.
No.
He was a real winner.
Yeah.
Because despite all the odds, he still continued to run.
Yeah, he never
gave up.
No. And
if he fall long twice, they might have stopped running.
Yeah, and he fall long and he get up and he run.
So they probably recognize that the real winner.
Like a similar story like that, like a child was Kansas wanted to be a fireman. The fire service people come and dress him up and like a fireman, and he died after, but he was a fireman.
Yeah, honorary fireman. Yeah.
You understand my point?
Yeah.
We in this country we change we thinking, but we have to teach you how to love and care for nature and all kind of thing. Love the soil according to Sadhguru and all of them. You see what about the billionaires now? They realize that all the money they have in the world is no use if the planet overheat.
So trying to find a way now to cool it down.
Yes, you see they're going heavy solar and then you check them. They invest in all the money in that.
What they should have been, about 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
They're not rushing to get done.
Because we abuse the planet so much that we overheat the place. And now we have to the same money that we make to cool it down back. Sadhguru see you have what 3 or 4 million people volunteering service, you know. You understand?
No, we have to go down I want to go down 2 hours.
Demands are how I can't find a volunteer if they do a bad work. We say they have no job description, they have nothing, all they come to with a heart.
Come with a clean heart and willing to work.
Help somebody. No money, they want not, you know.
Let's have a group of people in society, but the man really good boy. I must say, boy, that man, he talking with the young people on the here, boy.
And he making joke on him too. He said just get angry, but not angry people. I get angry myself, but then they don't show nobody. You say because you're human at the end of the day.
I just hope at some point in the future, where look, I lost my bank card yesterday, right? And for whatever reason I lose it, the machine take the card, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going back to the bank today, and I have to enter back in my PIN and whatever. I mean, in this day and age, boy, you telling me you don't have a talking machine for the blind?
Did you old boy? You make a stick in your headphone.
Yeah, and let me hear what it is I do for myself. Give me some independence.
Well, this September gonna make us 1 year. We met with Republic Bank, and they fix the problem yet.
No, it's real annoying, boy. And then you're forcing me to bank with them. That's my problem, you know.
And
You're not
you know what they
providing me that
say?
service. They're forcing me to bank with them.
We've been working on a policy for the disabled. I was the first person, one of the first group of people we used to meet with in the early 90s with Ms. Linda Babulal. Early 90s working on national policy with it. It had all color paper, white paper, green paper, blue, red, whatever paper. And this was about 30 going to 40 years. And we still have no law to protect the disabled. And you know somebody say policies to tell you what not to do. Lawyers to tell you that you have to do it.
But they ain't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't wrong at all. Because you telling me it's a 91 to now. That isn't that 31 years?
Really, that's why. The Senate in America
51 years.
discussing accessible gym equipment. I talked to Carlos about it, and he said, yeah, but you had to do a little thing to make it accessible. And I said, so why can't we straight out of the box? But you know, when the law passed in America, Trinidad, they dump it every now and here.
Yeah, well, again, all kind of equipment and down here now.
Laura blind fella was in an apartment building in the States, and they changed all the machine touch screen when they cut and win the case.
Yeah, I remember reading about that.
You understand my point?
Yeah,
You think that
yeah.
government Trinidad?
Because you know law in America, there's law to fight. In Trinidad, there's no law to fight for that. Which law you want to use for that, Kenneth?
Larry, in the States, you could go and buy anything from Amazon anywhere. Walmart, all about. You have to take this grade back. With no punishment, you know.
Yeah, I know that.
They just still use it for 5, you know, there's something to put it in when they send it for you. If you don't like it, send it back.
The market force is different across the board. The size and different. The numbers huge.
Yeah.
If
No,
you
but
get-
Larry, you might say that, right?
Mhm.
The blind community is small in Trinidad, but when you take it as a whole in the world, it changes your perspective.
No, it's true. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ken, 2 minutes stayed. We're
Mhm.
wrapping up with.
My wrap up then. Let me keep chipping my partner. Nobody out to me in this wicket. If you bowling tight, bat and part close together. But when the bad ball come, you got dispatch it.
Sure,
And
right.
what I mean, you know, if people might not understand cricket, we can't make runs in the pavilion. And then person don't get angry. I think, I mean, in my early days I was right, but you know, but chip away, use strategy, build consensus, build alliances. You know, and that's what I've been doing, Larry. There are so many people I just pick up my phone and call and get help. Instant help. You understand? And I think that we should encourage, and it's happening.
So it reminds me of the book, The Godfather, where the Don Corleone said, you know, it's better to make a friend than to make an enemy.
Yeah.
You say, if you make a friend, you could go back and get help in the future. But if you make an enemy, you can't go back there and get nothing.
Larry, that criminal, just to wrap up my last point, criminal in the States, syndicate. If any one of the members kill a policeman, they just kill them, you know. Because they're not in the business of killing police. They're in the business of gambling, running their racket, whatever.
Yeah.
But if one, they have certain rules that is governed by, you don't ever kill a policeman.
You don't want that kind of heat on you.
Because the heat will be hot.
Yeah.
When they go upside down, the business will slow down, and they more on that. They make it clear. If they only hear one of the members threatening a police or going to do something, they'll shoot them and kill them. Because that's not the rule.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
so closing off, I just want to say finally, I hope, you know, we keep the fight up. I hope people support us because we need to. We just keep chipping away slowly. It's not about a physical fight. It's about fighting with smart and building the awareness and going forward and trying to resolve these issues one block at a time or one issue at a time.
But we like a
So-
sculpture, we chipping away the stone.
Yeah,
People gonna be amazed at what the image are gonna come out. Disabled people being treated equal in society, not how they look, or what have in their head.
I agree. So until next weekend, keep
Yeah.
safe.
Cool, man. Later.
Yeah.